The world may be in a crisis right now, but you and your business do not have to be. Hey, welcome to the Tom Ferry Show, live from my home studio. It's Sunday, March 22nd, as I'm recording this. You're watching it on Tuesday or Wednesday. I want to start by saying we are no doubt in unprecedented times. And for many of us, the goals that we set, the plans that we set back in October, November, December of last year, we basically need to rip in half. What I want to talk to you about today is the 5 smart actions that great agents like you are taking every single day in this environment where, without a shadow of a doubt, what we do, what we say, how we communicate, and how we market is the difference that will make the difference in our referral business and our brand forever. So, if you were my personal coaching client and we were sitting down one-on-one, there's 5 things I'm telling everybody right now. And maybe you saw me last week with Steve Harney and David Childress where we talked about how's the market. And I mentioned some of these points, but I want to drive them home with you today because with what's happening in the world, the way I'm describing it to be is the world may be in a crisis, but you and your business don't have to be. We can continue to move forward to help people. Now, we may help people differently today with lots of the country around the world as well going on pause. We can still do the right things that build our brand and show our value so we continue to serve. And that's what I want to talk to you about. So the first thing I'm telling people, what the smart agents are doing, number 1, is they're taking their meds. Now, you've heard me say this before, and it's sometimes a funny acronym for people because they say, oh, Ferry, what medication are you recommending? No, meds is an acronym for meditate, exercise, diet, and sleep. In times of crisis, in times of high stress, there is no doubt the more you meditate or pray, you slow down your mind, you breathe, you focus on your body, and you get yourself into a centered state. We are, like we talked about before, it's the squeeze. We've got a pressure cooker situation. If you're not taking care of you and recommending to the people that you love the most that they do something similar, there's a really good chance they can pop, they can explode on you or with a client or with a loved one. So meditation is number 1. Number 2 is exercise. By the way, I'm seeing lots of people going on Instagram and other social channels and saying, hey, let's do a Zoom session or do yoga together, right? There is no doubt being physically strong in an environment like this is a giant competitive advantage. Diet, we all know, eat for energy. Be mindful of putting stuff inside your body that creates a high because what follows is a low. And the last one, because you've been a follower of mine for a long time, you've heard myself and Dr. Amen and others talk about the value of rest and sleep, specifically that getting more than 7 hours of sleep per night actually allow your brain to wash out and detoxify on a daily basis. So now more than ever, take your meds. And more importantly, share that message with the people that you love. Share it with your community, share it with your tribe, get your team on board, your office mates. Let's get everybody doing the best they can to take care of themselves because we know in our business and in all business, how we feel on the inside radiates to the people on our outside. And we simply cannot afford to put our head in the sand or worse, become an energy-sucking vampire. So that's the first point. Number 2, we need to over-communicate. We need to over-communicate. We need to over-communicate. Think about it. I have clients with 25 pending sales right now. I have clients with 80 or 90 active listings right now. We either communicate what's going to happen or what has happened with the solutions that we have, state by state, country by country, province by province. It's all different. You either over-communicate that in advance or you deal with the onslaught of all those people reaching back to you and saying, hey, what's going on? You're my agent. What are you doing? What I'm telling people is you simply cannot communicate enough to your sellers, to your under contracts. That's number 1. Number 2, you need to be in communication with every lead in your database. I'm not saying your database, your past clients in Sphere. I'm saying the people that took the time to fill out a form or met you at an open house or referred you by a pal. The message we want to be mindful of today is you can set up research phase buyer consultations live via Zoom and still educate buyers. We might be limited in showings. We might be limited in opening escrows. country by country, state by state, province by province, it's all going to be different. We might be limited in a short period of time. What we can do is continue to do research phase appointments for buyers, and we can continue to do listing appointments and talk through strategies about how to get their home prepared and ready to go when the timing is right. Understand this, if you stop following up on your leads, if you stop over communicating with all of your potential prospects, what happens is your pipeline goes away, and then as this turns, and they always do, as this burns out, as this turns, you will be weeks or months behind the 8 ball. And if you think today it's a little strange, try it when it's a good market or back to a normal market and you're behind the 8 ball. So I cannot stress to you enough, you've got to communicate. One-on-one, text message, send an email, shoot a bomb video, make it personal. Hey Kathy, just wanted to follow up. First and foremost, how you doing? You and your family okay? Right? We were in communication about this. I just want to see, is there anything I can do to support? Right? This isn't about having the perfect script. This isn't about trying to say the right thing. This is about bringing humanity back to the business. This is about putting your hand on your heart and saying, hey, I want to reach out to these people and find out how they're doing. Now, I will tell you, I have already hundreds of stories of people saying, Tom, I've been taking this advice and I'm booking appointments and I'm doing it via Zoom, right? I'm booking listing presentations and we're doing it via Zoom. I followed up on one of my clients. Somebody just sent this to me recently and they said, hey, I'm in the middle of a virtual cocktail party with all of my friends, and the buyer was a 70-year-old. Think about it. The world has pivoted. The world has adjusted. We must communicate. And then the last one, your mindset matters. You've got to be in communication with every single person in your sphere. Now, there's a pretty good chance, because you're in my tribe, you've heard me say this before. I cannot stress to you enough. I'm asking my clients to be talking to 25 to 30 people a day. A text message, a video goes a long way, a personal email, a DM on any one of the social sites, just to check in. Why? Because the right thing is always the right thing. And now more than ever, what you say and what you do, or what you don't say and don't do, will massively impact your brand and your referral business forever.